All right, today we're going to be talking about 3 van life meals that are shelf stable, something you can prepare in one pot, loaded with protein, very satisfying, and pretty economical. So I'm going to give you those 3 recipes. Now, I like to eat a lot of fresh foods and grilled veggies and steaks and everything, but when you're traveling from place to place with a little tiny refrigerator, you have to kind of shop strategically. Sorry. Sorry. Scared the dog. If you're like me, you might find it a challenge to be providing decent meals for yourself on the road. And I want to share 3 of my go-to meals that meet some certain criteria that I'm going to talk to you about. So when I'm out on the road and I'm getting to enjoy beautiful places, I don't enjoy running into town for running errands all the time, because it just seems like a waste of time that I could be enjoying time with my buddy here or seeing some of this beautiful country. And I just don't like running errands all the time. So if you have a small refrigerator like I do, no, sit, good boy. If you have a small refrigerator like I have, you kind of have to be strategic about what you buy and when, if you don't want to be running to town every other day. And a lot of the places where I have been spending time, even if you don't mind running to the store every day, the shopping is really limited. You're going to be paying too much, and you're going to be getting food that's probably lower quality than what you want to have. So if you have any kind of standards, you might want to keep these 3 meals in your rotation to help you eat better on the road. And let me talk to you a little bit about what my criteria are for these meals that I'm about to share with you. I want them to be one pot meals. So I basically, 90% of my meals I prepare in this Dutch oven on the electric cooktop. And that's great, but it does limit what meals you can prepare. The meals that I want to prepare, I really have to be able to cook them with this situation right here that you see. The other thing is, I have a weird eating schedule. I typically eat at midday, and I try to eat around 700 calories. And then I eat a huge dinner, which I keep under 2,000 calories. And that sounds like a lot. And maybe it's a weird way to eat. But to the people that say, well, Mike, if you're really eating only 2,700 calories a day, you'd be a lot smaller. So you can go and shove it up your ass. So I have large dinners, and if you're a person like me that likes to eat a lot at dinner, these portions will work properly for you. Or if you're a couple that eats normally, then these would probably be some good matches for you. So here are my three go-to meals that are prepared in one pot, are almost entirely shelf-stable ingredients, have a acceptable amount of calories, at least for my goals, and have a lot of protein. And I also like to throw in some vegetation. So these 3 meals basically meet all those criteria. The first one I'm going to share with you is the simple pesto pasta. Simple pesto pasta, which is some tomatoes, maybe some vegetation in there, probably half a can of this pesto. And this is the key for me, is to have this high protein pasta. This high protein pasta will not only help you reduce your calories, it's also going to make you feel full, and all the other benefits of having a lot of protein. I'll probably put in a little bit of butter just because I have it, and that way I can sort of stretch this pesto into 2 meals rather than 1. And I'll put some of this on top. This is supposed to go in the refrigerator once it's been opened. Could probably get away with it, but I do typically keep this in the refrigerator. Meal number 2 is some kind of chili. Chili is great because, of course, it goes in one pot, gives you a lot of protein, a lot of vegetation. You can limit the fat as much as you want to. I know that's where a lot of the flavor is, but for me, I do want to keep the fat within reason. So for this, I'll have some kind of a seasoning packet, probably 1 or 2 types of beans. I usually throw in some green beans just because it adds some sort of filler, low-calorie filler, and it does taste good. And, of course, some kind of tomatoes. Now, the key for this, if you want more protein than you're going to get out of just the beans alone, is some canned roast beef. If you're trying to save room in the refrigerator, you don't want to fill it up with a whole bunch of hamburger and stuff. This makes a pretty good substitute, canned roast beef, and this is actually quite lean, but this you can keep with you in your pantry, so to speak, without taking up room in your refrigerator. Oh, I forgot to mention, I usually put some onion in there too, but sometimes I put this on top because if I keep this off to the side, then I can give leftovers to the dog. Third and final meal is my lazy style tuna casserole. So I'll use 2 packages of ramen noodles. I'll throw 2 packages of ramen noodles. I'll throw the seasoning away. Probably 2 tablespoons of butter, some peas, and 2 cans of tuna fish, and top it off with some more of that phony Parmesan cheese. But that's an easy, satisfying meal. By adding the 2 cans of protein, it really makes me feel full, and I actually like tuna noodle casserole, so there's nothing disappointing about that for me. Of course, you do have to keep the butter in the refrigerator, but I usually keep this in there for cooking anyway, and 1 package like this lasts me almost forever. Bonus meal is if you're feeling fat and lazy, you can take a huge can of baked beans. I like the 0 sugar added. Add a can of canned pulled pork. Add some onions, and that's it. That's a dinner. So that's the number 4. That's your bonus. Not exactly the healthiest thing in the world, but very satisfying, and actually the calories for this would be well under my limit. I've discovered that you can make toast on the popcorn popper. Game changer. So that's it. By having these 3 or 4 shelf-stable meals, in addition to the more fresh meals that I get the day or 2 right after I go to the market, I can make it maybe a week before I have to go and do a serious shopping trip. And for me, that makes all the difference. That means I can spend a week traveling from location to location, not be checking the map for where all the decent grocery stores are. You may have noticed from some of the things that I've been using that a lot of them come from Walmart. I do tend to go to Walmart just because I know what I'm going to get there. If you're looking for different types of canned meats and things that may not be everywhere, I know they're going to have them. And of course, I know my dog's dog food is there, so I'm going to have to go to Walmart anyway. So whatever you feel about Walmart, I just end up going there a lot when I'm traveling. But that's it. By having these 3 meals ready to go, I don't need to panic. I can keep these in a box under the bed somewhere and say, hey, I don't have to go to the store if I don't want to. I can always have the tuna noodle thing tonight if I want to. And it just makes things a lot more pleasant. I usually like to keep a couple emergency meals on hand, because if you're having a great time and you're enjoying the world, looking for a decent grocery store when you're in a remote area, it's just a real hassle. So having these meals ready to go will help you save space in your refrigerator, have some decent meals, and give you a longer window before you have to go back to the store.
Just a dog and a man and a big white van and a 2-foot ceramic garden gnome. They're driving around any city or town, everywhere's a temporary home. He's got a bed and a fridge and a toilet in there, a toolbox and dishes and clean underwear. Just a dog and a man and a big white van and a 2-foot ceramic garden gnome. They're driving around any city or town, everywhere's a temporary home. From the east to the west coast and points in between, he's traveling to places he has never seen. Just a dog and a man and a big white van and a 2-foot ceramic garden gnome. They're driving around any city or town, everywhere's a temporary home. Intrepid Mike, the explorer, with his co-pilot named Cosmo, they crossed this beautiful land of ours in a van they call the White Shadow. Just a dog and a man and a big white van and a 2-foot ceramic garden gnome.